Imagine living in a place like a raging furnace, where people are punished and destroyed forever, where people cry and gnash their teeth, and where the torture that resembles smoke rises endlessly, leaving the condemned to suffer from unspeakable agony and humiliation day and night for all of eternity. This awful place has several names. We refer to it as hell. The Bible says that there are two locations in the afterlife, heaven and hell. According to the Bible, there will be a last judgment at the end of time, when all people will stand before God and give an account of everything they have done. Those whose names are not recorded in the book of life will be tossed into what the Bible refers to as a lake of fire when it is opened. This hellish lake of fire. The term hell appears frequently in the New Testament, and while we usually identify it with an area of never-ending suffering, this isn't always the case. Because the Bible has undergone so many revisions and translations, it is simple for a word like hell to be misinterpreted or misused. Despite the fact that the word hell is used frequently, it doesn't truly refer to the location of hell. Hell is frequently understood to be the Greek word Gehenna, which is the Greek equivalent of the Hebrew word Hinnom. Now, the valley south of Jerusalem, known as the Valley of Slaughter, and rightfully so, is home to Hinnom or Gehenna, depending on your preference. Children were frequently burned alive in the valley as sacrifices to the Ammonite god Moloch under the rule of King Solomon of Israel. Mounds of dead were subsequently dumped in the valley during the Babylonian invasion of Israel. Gehenna was eventually turned into a landfill. It still has the reputation of being associated with filth, fire, and death. Given the history of this valley, this is precisely the reason the word Gehenna is translated as hell. It's been nothing short of misery on earth. Pop culture and other media have a big influence on how we see the world, where the devil rules and demons torment the damned. One of the most widely recognized representations of hell can be found in Dante Alighieri's 1320 work, The Divine Comedy. The three sections of this poem are called Paradiso, Purgatorio, and Inferno. However, Inferno is the most inventive of the three. It tells the tale of Dante, a man who travels through hell's 9 circles in pursuit of his true love. Every circle has a sin associated with it, and the punishments are ranked from least to most severe the lower you go. The first and most subdued of the 9 circles is limbo. One description compares it to earth. Those who were never baptized can be found here, grieving over their lack of baptism and consequent alienation from God. Lust is the second circle. A strong windstorm tosses the souls stuck in this circle, smashing them against rocks. After this comes gluttony. Overindulgent people sleep in freezing black slush and get hit by hail and rain. Avarice. Rolling large rocks back and forth pits those who hoarded or spent extravagantly against one another. Fury. The most ill-tempered persons can be found here, swirling around the river Styx and fighting non-stop as the gloomy people below soak. Heresy. Those who disobeyed the doctrine of God will end up imprisoned in fiery graves. Aggression. There are 3 rings in this 7th circle of hell. Murderers, warmongers, tyrants, and those who took pleasure in violence are all punished in the first ring, which is ironically boiling in blood. The second is for people who didn't think well of themselves. As a punishment, those who commit or attempt suicide are turned into twisted, prickly trees that harpies tear to pieces. The spirits go through this metamorphosis while still feeling agony and only being able to speak when they bleed. For those who rebelled against nature, art, and God, there is a 3rd ring. Blasphemers, sodomites, and usurers are all compelled to live in a burning desert where fire pours down upon them. Fraud is the next circle of hell. Seducers, flatterers, hypocrites, impostors, and counterfeiters can all be found here. Anyone caught in the act of deceit faces punishments such as whippings, head twists, mutilations, and even drowning in excrement. These are but a handful of them. Treachery is the only one who can enter the ninth and last circle of hell. Traders from all walks of life are trapped on ice on a frozen lake, a far cry from the flaming hellscape most people envision. Some are fully imprisoned in ice, while others are frozen waist-deep, depending on how serious their betrayal was. This depicts the devil, who is said to have 3 faces, frozen in the middle of a lake. 2 of the faces gnaw on Brutus and Cassius, the men who planned Julius Caesar's assassination, while the 3rd face gnaw on the head of Judas Iscariot, the disciple who is most famous for betraying Jesus. Hell is vividly portrayed in Dante's Inferno, yet like with many popular interpretations of biblical themes, this depiction is not totally true. The idea that hell is ruled by the devil and his demons is among the most widespread fallacies. But as an old acquaintance stated in an earlier video, they are not the employees of hell's maintenance crew. According to the Bible, hell was made especially for them, not so they could rule it, but so they could suffer there as prisoners. The Bible contradicts the second myth, which holds that hell is divided into levels similar to Dante's Inferno. No sin is used to categorize a sinner, and no crime is used to determine their punishment. Everyone is equal in hell. The suffering is mutual. Many people have the commonly held belief that hell is a place of unending fire, and numerous Bible scriptures confirm this. Additional descriptions describe sensations that would cause its occupants great agony, as well as sounds and odors. The phrase fire and brimstone is frequently employed, with brimstone denoting sulfur, an element recognized for its pungent smell akin to rotten eggs. Thus, if you're wondering what the hell smells like, it most likely smells like rotting eggs and burning flesh. However, the significance of sulfur surpasses even its repulsive odor. According to the Bible, hell is a realm of darkness. Now, was that a metaphor meant to highlight just how awful this location is, or might it even be an accurate description? Recall that this is a land of fire and sulfur, the latter of which is extremely flammable and produces blue flames when it burns, not to mention that blue flames are thought to be hotter than orange or red flames in general. The closest thing to a visual representation of hell, a blue inferno, are these pictures of molten sulfur. Friends, there you have it as hell. We can all agree that if hell is real, it's not a place you want to go, whether you believe in it or not.